At 94 years old, Clint Eastwood is still directing films. Not out of passion, not for money, but because stopping means facing something he spent his entire life avoiding. Silence. 5 Oscars. 50 films as director. 7 decades of cinema. The man who turned silence into menace, who made the Western an immortal myth, who became the very definition of American masculinity. Dirty Harry. The man with no name. William Money. Characters that never die. But Hollywood doesn't show the cost. 7 children scattered across 5 women. Marriages destroyed. Lovers turned lawsuits. A loneliness so deep that friends whisper, Clint doesn't know who he is if he's not working. The lone cowboy conquered everything. But at what cost? How did the actor Hollywood swore would never be a star build an empire from rejection and ice? And why did a man who created films about human connection never learn to connect himself? To understand, we go back to beginning, long before Oscars, before Dirty Harry, to the years when Clint Eastwood was invisible, rejected, considered too slow, too awkward, too ordinary to matter. Born May 31st, 1930, in San Francisco, Clint entered a nation collapsing under the Great Depression. His father, Clinton Sr., chased fading jobs across California. His mother, Margaret, held the family together with sheer force of will. By his teens, Clint had moved through Sacramento, Piedmont, Pacific Palisades, and countless forgotten towns. He was always a new kid, always on the margins. I was shy, really shy, he later admitted. I didn't fit in anywhere. I was just there. At Oakland Technical High, Clint was tall, awkward, invisible. He scraped through classes, worked odd jobs, gas stations, lumber yards, summer firefighting crews, and learned early that no one was coming to save him. At 21, the Korean War draft arrived. He served at Fort Ord, California, narrowly surviving a Navy plane crash at sea. I just kept swimming. What else could I do? That phrase would become the silent mantra of his life. By 23, Clint returned to Los Angeles, directionless, broke, with Hollywood a distant, impossible dream. A cameraman noticed his tall, lean frame and stoic face and suggested acting. Desperation opened doors, and soon he was studying at Los Angeles City College. Universal signed him in 1954, but for 7 brutal years, he was humiliated. Bit parts, tiny roles, stiff and slow. You have a chip on your tooth. Your Adam's apple sticks out. You talk too slow, a casting director said. By 25, Clint was dropped. Hollywood had chewed him up and spat him out. Then, in 1958, Rawhide arrived. Cast as Rowdy Yates, Clint became a dependable, invisible cowboy across 217 episodes. He learned by watching, directors, camera angles, timing, absorbing the rhythm of storytelling. By 1964, television cowboys were dying. Clint, now 34, faced obsolescence until Sergio Leone offered him a low-budget Italian Western. Everyone advised against it. Cheap foreign career suicide. Clint saw opportunity. For $15,000 and a plane ticket, he flew to Spain. A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, was raw, stylized, and revolutionary. Clint didn't act. He existed. Silence carried menace. His stillness became magnetism. Europe worshipped him. America ignored him. Leone cast him in 2 more films, culminating in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 1966. By the trilogy's end, Clint was a European superstar, virtually unknown at home. When A Fistful of Dollars reached U.S. theaters in 1967, America was stunned. The washed-up TV actor had become the most electrifying presence in cinema. Clint didn't celebrate. He studied. He learned budgets, schedules, contracts, studio control. In 1968, he formed Malpaso Productions, ensuring independence. In 1971, Dirty Harry debuted. Inspector Harry Callahan, the anti-hero, became a cultural earthquake. For sequels followed, box office gold. Clint had power, but acting alone wasn't enough. He turned director with Play Misty for Me, 1971, succeeding critically and financially, and proving he could command a camera as well as a screen. The 1970s and 80s cemented his empire. High Plains Drifter, the outlaw Josie Wales, escaped from Alcatraz. He worked relentlessly, building his name, his control, and his legend. But behind the stoic face, Clint's personal life fractured. 7 children, 5 women, multiple affairs. His first marriage, to Maggie Johnson, collapsed under distance and infidelity. Affairs with stuntwoman Roxanne Tunis produced Kimber, born in secrecy. Relationships with actresses Sandra Lawcatch, flight attendant Jay Slime Reeves, and Frances Fisher produced children, secrets, and lawsuits. In 1996, he married Dina Ruiz, had Morgan, and divorced in 2014. Compartmentalization became his survival tactic. A father present only in fragments, lovers manipulated, children hidden. Professional triumph, personal isolation. By the 1980s, Hollywood began to write his obituary. Westerns were out. Young action stars dominated. But Clint had one last act. In 1992, Unforgiven transformed him. A meditation on violence, aging, and regret. Clint played William Money, an aging gunslinger confronting his past. The film won 4 Oscars, including Best Director. At 62, the actor once dismissed as slow held the industry in awe. Eastwood doubled down. Mystic River, 2003, $1 Million Baby, 2004, Flags of Our Fathers, 2006, Letters from Iwo Jima, 2006, Gran Torino, 2008, American Sniper, 2014, Sully, 2016, Richard Jewell, 2019, Crime Macho, 2021. Each film dissected morality, grief, human connection. Critics revered his efficiency, minimalism, and trust in silence. Yet, the man who crafted empathy on screen often remained incapable of it off-screen. Friends said Clint understood human pain intellectually, not emotionally. Relationships fractured, intimacy avoided. His characters were mirrors, men who achieved everything yet remained alone. Even politics revealed contradictions. Libertarian, Republican, independent, Eastwood embodied rugged individualism. In 2012, at 82, he delivered the infamous empty chair speech at the Republican National Convention, confounding millions. Critics mocked, admirers defended. The moment symbolized a tension at the heart of Clint Eastwood. Uncompromising, defiant, autonomous, but increasingly isolated. Today, at 94, Clint Eastwood continues. Hearing loss and dimmed vision slow him, yet he works with the same precision. No wasted takes, no tantrums, no compromise. His children maintain varying connections. Scott Eastwood respects his father, but keeps distance. Kimber has reconciled, but carries old wounds. Morgan experiences a more present father, yet still recognizes his struggle with intimacy. Friends note, he works not out of passion, but fear. Fear of silence, of stillness, of reckoning. Clint Eastwood's legacy is untouchable. 5 Oscars, 50 directed films, characters etched into cultural memory. Yet his personal life tells a different story. Children born into secrecy, lovers scarred, a man who cannot stop long enough to live beyond work. The cowboy rides alone, reaching the horizon first, but reaching it alone. The cameras will stop. The legacy will remain. And somewhere in Carmel, an old man will sit surrounded by the ghosts of what he built and what he left behind. Clint Eastwood became exactly what he wanted. Unforgettable, untouchable, utterly, irreversibly alone. Even politics revealed contradictions. Libertarian, Republican, independent, Eastwood embodied rugged individualism. In 2012, at 82, he delivered the infamous empty chair speech at the Republican National Convention,